G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here once again casting two professional players as they take on each other in a tournament battle. This series is a best of 5 from EGC TV. Let's introduce our players for today. In the north of the map, playing in the color blue as the English representing Team Elephant, we've got Louis MT. And on the south side of the map in the color red, playing as the Byzantines representing Team My Insanity, we've got the Mister. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hidden Valley. If you're enjoying this Age of Empires 4 content, make sure you leave a like on the video. It really helps out with the traction of the video. Let's get into it. We've got ourselves a very fun matchup, and already we begin to see aggression coming out early. The Byzantines going to be facing an English aggressive opening. Louis MT with the men-at-arms making their way across the map already. And have a look at this. His scout is very aggressively poised to spot any resource it can. And it looks like he's got a perfect, almost a perfect roll there on the aggression. The hope is that with your men-at-arms, you're able to get the gold and the stone on one side on this map. But it looks like it's only going to be the gold. Now, one thing to note is the Mister does indeed have... Oh, look at this. Does have villagers on the stone early on. The gold just outside the range of the town center. The stone just outside the range of the town center as well. And he's going to be, I hate to say it, he's going to be up shit creek without a paddle right now, as this man-at-arms is making his way down. And have a look at this. The line of sight is just going to be absolutely perfect on this one. So early on in this game, the advantage is going to be going over to Louis, because you got to remember, at the end of the day, it's about denying what your opponent wants to do. If your opponent wants to go fast castle, because that's what their civ is good at, you do not let them do that. You try and stop them. And so what's Mister doing here? Well, Mister is trying to get stone so that he can get his cistern network going. The problem is, he can't do that because his opponent is not letting him do that. But now, Mister will see that men-at-arms go around the bottom side. I'm curious to see whether he sends another villager out to the stone outcropping. But I suspect he's just going to be able to rotate between the gold vein and the stone outcropping back to back until the age up comes through. Now, Mister's got enough resources to age up here, so he's going to be fine. And he's technically got enough for a second cistern, which I'd love to see him plonk down. Could throw it on the other side of the TC pretty easily, get that wall across, or get that aqueduct across there pretty quickly. But now we see, is that the same men-at-arms? No, it's a different one. We got two men-at-arms here, and he's chased away a couple of the deer as well. Louis MT coming out of the box, absolutely swinging today. On the other side of the map, we're yet to see him get close to that age up, but likely to see a council hall coming through as those men-at-arms slowly but steadily siege down their mining camps. Level 1 cistern still in play here for the Mister. A couple of idle vills, but he does fix it up. Imperial Hippodrome going to be coming down. Only the 3 villagers working away on it. Normally you see 4 to 5 villagers on that Hippodrome, so going to be a bit of a late age up here. Have a look at the timing on this as well. I think that Louis is giving him a little bit of a rattle early on in this game. All right, well, we'll check in with these men-at-arms and see what the plan is for Louis. I suspect he's probably going to be looking to head back to his base as soon as that age up comes through from his opponent. Wants to avoid losing these men-at-arms. You know, at the end of the day, they are units. You don't really want to throw them away. And I think he's going to be just looking to siege down the mining camp gold, and that makes a lot of sense. Rather than splitting it and then not getting either, you're better off just focusing on one and actually getting it down. So that is a good call from him. But now we start to see that second cistern now coming up here. Also going to be looking for the mill. One thing to note is we've got no villagers on the gold at all at this early stage of the game. And look at this, he's actually going to pull back from attacking that mining camp. Wants to make sure that he is able to keep those men-at-arms alive. Definitely the right call here. Last thing you want to do is get caught off guard by the Imperial Hippodrome, by those horsemen that come out. Now, one thing to note here is have a look what Mister's going to be doing. We're going to dive in underneath. One of the things that happens here when you build this over the top of your villagers is often your villagers kind of go a little bit crazy here. I wonder if it's going to happen here for the Mister. We're going to ride on board with him and have a look, but it kind of messes with the pathing. You get a lot of idols from this as well. It doesn't look like it's going to affect him. Yeah, I think he's managed just to eke it in just on the inside of that aqueduct. But you've always got to be really careful when you're putting the aqueduct around the front of the town center like that if you do have sheep underneath. So keep that in mind for future reference. Hippodrome comes up. 4 minutes 47. Bit of a late age up. Council hall almost complete. We start to see the horsemen on the way through now for the Mister. Villagers going to start coming back out over onto gold. Nothing on stone just yet, but plenty of villagers on berries, so he will be looking to pick up early mercenaries in this game. Checking back in with Louis, the age up about to come through. And there it is. Your English feudal age has arrived. Arrived. It has arisen, or it has arrived. There you go, Drongo. You're working it out. Barracks is online. Of course, ready to be beginning the spearman production, but have a look at this. Rallying back towards the gold. Now, there's a couple of vills back on gold here. This is normally a giveaway. As to the plan of the strategy, we're going to open with eco upgrades, and then we're going to move into military upgrades. That's normally the way that it goes, but one thing to note, there's a distinct lack of longbowmen coming out at this stage of the game. He's playing very defensively. Scout in the middle of the map, just kind of chilling out for the moment, and a single spear. This is kind of wild. I don't know what to expect here, because there's really not much that Louis is doing here. He's got the single spear out. Of course, you need that spear just because of the horseman threat that is here, but only the 3 villages on gold. I think he's just looking to play a little bit of a one-base economy. The survival techniques will come through on that forward mill. He's got plenty of food under here, 2,350 food here. Together with that wheelbarrow, it's going to make sure that these villagers are gathering up the deer very, very quickly. You can see he's got plenty of them out here, so he's going to be looking for maybe a little bit of a later feudal timing. The 3 villagers on gold continuing to trickle that through. Expect to see, there it is, the double broadaxe coming straight away through. He's only got the 1 villager back here on the farms as well, so neglecting horticulture early on will not be particularly impactful. Let's check in with his opponent and see what Mister is up to and what kind of upgrades he's opted for. At this stage of the game, it's going to be no mill upgrades, no double broadaxe at this stage either, but he does have that level 2 cistern, which is going to be working for him throughout this game. But towards the top side, we start to see the horseman number increasing. First of the archers are out. Now on the south side of the English base, the Byzantines approach with the scout, just looking to spot exactly what they see. And no real surprises at this stage. You see a barracks, or you knew there was a barracks. You've got men-at-arms out already. The council hall, no real surprise there. I don't think we're going to be having too many Abbey of Kings coming out in this tournament. Now, if you'd like to see more games from this tournament, make sure you check out EGC TV this weekend, 15 GMT, Saturday and Sunday. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can watch them live. Make sure you go check it out, because I tell you what, it is absolutely amazing stuff. Personally, I wish I could be there. I wish I could be casting. I wish I could be there live. But the reality is, with a newborn and a 1-year-old, it makes it near impossible to have any kind of commitments outside of like a 20 or 30 minute commitment. That's one of the reasons why I love doing these kind of casted games. Makes it really easy, because I can just, you know, go in, do a quick cast, and then come out, and straight away I'm onto my fatherly duties, which is nice. It's nice to have the flexibility there, because I appreciate not a lot of dads do get that sort of work from home flexibility. But now have a look at this. Louis MT going to be forced away. The Mister's got a lot of horsemen out, and remember, he's got that triumph in the back pocket. If any of these horsemen do get low, at the moment, the majority of them on full HP, and the spear's going to come forward, but the archer's looking to try and get some early shots off if they can find them. More units continuing to come out from Louis. He is rallying in right now. And keep in mind, he's doing that sort of eruption or volcano of unit production. Starts off, no real unit production, just a couple of men-at-arms on the field, gets those eco upgrades, and then straight away just goes into unit spam. We can see he's got a lot out at the moment. Let's check in with those upgrades, see how they're doing. So he hasn't gone for the horticulture just yet, but has obviously gone into the double broadaxe. Hasn't picked up the specialized pick, has gotten the survival techniques and the wheelbarrow, so still a couple to pick up, but expect to see a blacksmith dropped very, very, there it is. It was probably already on the screen, but yeah, we can normally expect to see that blacksmith coming up straight away, because he's going to have to spend this gold on something, right? And he can go into horticulture, but the reality is, you go into horticulture right now, you got 9 vills working on your deer. You don't need horticulture right now. You've got 1 vill on sheep, 2 vills back here on farms. You're only getting horticulture for 3 villages. It's just not worth it at this stage. But look at this. We got a little bit of a surrounding. Keshik's going to be coming through as well, and the archers teeing off towards that front, and he's got a beautiful surround. Body blocks him in, says, "You ain't going nowhere, sweetheart." At the same time, able to chase that villager away. It looks like he might have Expilatores in, because he's doing so much damage to it. He's just going to 5-shot the villager, and it's a complete cleanup coming in from the Mister on the Byzantines. Early on in this game, a huge victory for the Byzantine player, as this game is only getting started. Now, keep in mind, this is part of a 5-part series for these games. Obviously, we are casting the entire series here between Louis and between the Mister. So if you haven't already, make sure you check out the games before it. There were 2 games before it. And of course, there'll be 2 games after this as well. So just keep an eye out for those. But at this stage, of the game. The Mister comes out to a strong early lead. One thing to note is that neither player, at least not that we're aware of, is looking at a second TC just yet. We know that Louis definitely not. We'll have to check in with the Mister and see how many vills he's got on stone, because there's always the prospect that he may be thinking about a second town center. And indeed, there is. Let's have a look and see where he goes with it. Looks like it's going to be out here on the deer. He is throwing a mill down. Hold your horses right now. No, never mind. It's actually going to be a town center underneath the wood line. Keep it nice and safe. Berries out here being taken, and then he's going to be moving the villagers, 11 of them, out towards this mill on the south side. Now, one thing to note, Mister still yet to get those walls down. One of the things I like to see early on this map are walls. Whether that's a nice little safe wall like this, which I'm definitely a big advocate for. Or often, one of the things that I talk about when I'm on my Patreon, and whenever we're doing a map that is Hidden Valley, which by the way, I'll shout out my Patreon now if you want to go check it out. Go say good day. One of the things I often talk about is building your base like an onion. You want to start off with this nice little safe ring of walls, and then if you look to expand out, maybe you want to take these berries, one of the things that you can do is bring that wall out a little bit further, or you can go for some more aggressive walls towards the middle, just to try and keep those villagers safe. Buy yourself a little time, because the reality is, when it comes to this map, if your units are over on this side of the map and your opponent begins to push you on the opposite side, it's going to take time for you to react. It's going to take you time to get into position. So the sooner you can get those walls up, the better. And exactly what the Mister now begins to do is wall up those deer. It makes a lot of sense for him to be doing that, and you can see the way that he's segmenting this as well. Not going particularly big, you know, like realistically he could have walled to the large gold, to the small gold, and then across to the wood lines. Doesn't do that here, and I like that. I like that he keeps it small, keeps it simple, keeps it safe. Very well done. But now, towards the top side, he's going to find difficulty with these cavalry units. Compared to a map like Cliffside, where you've got the ability to really strike from behind, you don't really have that here. Louis is going to be fighting out from the pocket and feeling good about himself. Of course, whenever you've got that opportunity to man fight, it feels really, really good. As long as you're preparing for it, not playing cavalry like the Mister is currently doing. Have we got any tilts for Castle Age? It doesn't look like it just yet. We are 12 minutes through the game, so I'm going to switch over to income per minute, and we'll get a bit of an idea on where these guys are at now. Mister's got a 5 vil lead. Let's check in and see if that tracks with his eco. So we've got 300, 150, so 450 together with the 900. So 1350 over here, 950, 600, 1500 already, 1700. Tell you what, bit of an economic advantage already coming in from the Byzantines. 1700 versus, what was it, 1300? I think maybe not even that, like 1100, 1200. Kind of wild that it's that big already. Is that really just the power of the systems? He's only got level 2 at the moment, about to be level 3. But geez Louise, he's got, what upgrades have we got? Double broad axe back here. Okay. He's got the wheelbarrow, no horticulture, but he does have no survival techniques. But I guess he is out on the berries as well. That's the other thing to note. So he has a fair bit of olive oil coming through here. But now upgrades begin to come through from those blacksmiths. Both of these players looking to try and pick up as many upgrades as they can. We can see that his opponent, Louis MT, has obviously invested heavily into it as well. +1 ranged attack, +1 ranged defense, and of course, +1 melee attack going to help him out here. And we see that mill coming down at the front of the base here. Not the most optimal positioning. He's thrown it down in a bit of a jiffy. Look, you could probably do it in the back here. I don't think he's actually got space to get the full ring of farms around. So I guess the reality is it's probably worth about the same over here. And it's one of the things on this map. You do often run out of space. You know, my chosen civilization for most of the time, it is the Juicy Legacy. And one of the big things for that civilization is space in the base. You've got to get those 3 granaries down. You've got to get farms around them. And you just don't really have the space to do it on this map. It's very tough to get a good economy going with such limited space, but I guess that just guarantees, or not guarantees, but that just goes to support aggressive players. You know, the more aggressive that you are, the more space you've got for those production buildings, for those economic buildings. And you can see the Mister now behind this. He's starting to expand out here. The house is down towards this east side as well. He's still got plenty of villagers out on the map at the moment, and the fact that his army is over on the right side means he doesn't need to wall in over here, but walling in these villages, definitely the right call. One thing you got to be fearful of, though, is if a couple of longbows decide to stray their way up here, you could be up. Yeah, you could be in a bad spot. I was going to make a reference that I've already made this game, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to make the same reference twice in a game. At least I'm going to try and avoid it. Now we see additional stables getting thrown down. How much longer are we going to be spending in Castle? Oh, sorry, in Feudal. I feel like we're going to Castle, and it looks like we kind of are. Can we just check villager counts? 10, 8. Yeah, we're going Castles. All right, Castling's coming through. Both of these players realizing that they can't really do too much in this position. Like, realistically, as the Byzantines, you could try and approach here, but the reality is the longbows are going to tear you apart. Like, that's just it. You can't do anything underneath this town center, right? Like, this TC is just going to be so damn instrumental in a defense. It's going to rip you apart. 15 arrows coming out of it with +1 ranged attack as well. Extra attack speed on top of that, and then just non-stop spam that double attack as well. So definitely it is going to make sense for Mr. just to kind of chill back. And on top of that, you got to keep in mind he does have that second TC up, and that second TC is going to enable him flexibility in the long term for this game. Now pushing through, a couple of longbows teeing off towards those horsemen. Not a lot of damage done. King's Palace going to be going down on the wood line. Nope, it's going to be going in the back of the base. What do we got? Yeah, so we got, looks like we've got about 5 tiles here, so not going to be able to buy enough. We need one more tile. That's all he needs. One more tile to secure that last row of farms, but obviously isn't going to be happening. So now going to be looking towards Castle Age, and it's a slow, passive mid-game that we're experiencing at the moment. And the Golden Horn Tower gets thrown on the other side of the map at the same time, almost the exact same time as the King's Palace. Let's check in with the macro. Remember, whenever you're going up to Castle Age, you want to prioritize your gold. That's going to be your most important resource. And we can see both of these players slowly working on that gold. 14 villages for Louis, 11 villages here for the Mister. Not a real big bank of it built up just yet, but you want to try and prioritize those upgrades sooner rather than later. So here we're going to be expecting to see veterancy coming out for all 3 of these units. Not by the same token, we're going to expect to see veterancy for horsemen, archers, and mercenaries on the side of the Mister. He's got big armies over here, man. Look at the size of these things. These are really formidable. 21 horsemen, 6 Keshiks out right now. Damn, dude, you are absolutely pumping. That second TC is surprisingly not having a lot of an impact on these unit counts. And now pushing forward, it looks like we might have ourselves a little bit of a timing attack here. Louis may have thought he was all alone aging up to the Castle Age, and I think he might be trying for a push here before crossbows come out from his opponent. Now, there are Keshiks online, but there's not going to be enough, and now those crossbows will come through for the Mister. That's going to be the key timing that he's looking for here. He's got plenty of men-at-arms, and they will do a lot of work here in early castle until the crossbow numbers have been built. And one thing to note is the Mister doesn't have any walls up on this side of the map, which means it is just going to be straight going into the enemy base. Castle Age upgrades now have arrived for the men-at-arms. Spearman yet to be upgraded. He's not going to be too fussed about it, though. Archers on that south side have picked up their +2 ranged armor. Veterancies come through as well, and now the tackle begins. The horsemen on the backside pop their fortitude, not their fortitude, their triumph ability. Keshiks working their magic as well. Archers teeing off, but remember the men-at-arms. I think they've picked up their armor cladding. It just came in right then. Veterancy on the spears, it's not going to really matter, but the armor cladding is the thing that you care about. The crossbow numbers are lacking, and you can see he's gotten eaten alive here. The men-at-arms are the heroes for the English right now. It is a complete annihilation. I think we've lost the villagers. No, the villagers are still here. They're just doing a little bit of a weird movement. It's a little bit of a dance. But now the crossbow numbers are going to start to build here. We can see the Cataphracts also coming in, but the spearman numbers do stay strong. Needs to focus down these spears. You can see he's going to work his magic on them slowly but steadily. Keep in mind, there will be Keshiks popping out any second from our Golden Horn Tower as we manage to camera right over the top of it. We can almost pretend that we're sitting on top right now as we watched. All right, let's get a bit of a better angle right there. All right, we are watching. We have the eye, the golden eye, I guess you could call it. Anyway, it does look like at the end of the fight, it's just going to be archers versus longbows. The mass of ranged units. No real surprise there. These two units very strong when it comes to survival. Just because they're going to be at the back, they're going to be the ones teeing off against the opponent. And now our economies are stagnant. You've got an 18 villager difference between these two guys. Don't expect to see that change too much. The second town center has now come out for Louis in the form of his landmark. That's going to be able to keep parity with that second town center from the Mister. The one thing is, the Mister had his up a lot earlier, which is going to result in that 18 villager difference that is just naturally going to build a slow but steady economic advantage over his opponent. Longbow, a little bit of anger out on this east side. Needs to send a horseman or two out here. He's got a couple of Keshiks and a Cataphract. It's going to be a slow and steady march out there, but he will eventually do it. Instead, going to be sending the villagers, and look at Louis, not skipping a beat at all. He knows exactly what is up right now, and he's going to send the whole kit and caboodle over here. He wants to deal with this immediately. Big charge coming in. Keshiks will be able to close this out. And let's talk a little bit about where we go from here, because at this stage of the game now, we kind of fall back. We get comfortable. Because even though the Mister's got a decent economic lead, his opponent is slowly growing his economy with it. Which means that you're not going to have one player who gets left behind. It's going to take time, but Louis will eventually catch his opponent. One thing to note, one thing that I'm looking forward to, is going to be the potential timing from the Mister in the mid-castle age. Let's see if he goes for it. Varangian Guards, yet to be created for him, but a particularly difficult to deal with unit. I'm confident they could be pretty strong in a situation like this, especially up against longbows, even though they're quite good with the armor. Because the longbows are slow, the Varangian Guard can get right in on top of them with that charge, with that berserking, and dish out plenty of damage. Now, I don't even think he's got a barracks online just yet. Yeah, it doesn't even look like he's got a single barracks up, the mister. So there is a bit of a weakness there. Relics are starting to get picked up as well. We've got 2 relics now coming through for our English player. One of the monks will get shut down, though. And now that's 3 relics that remain. These are all very achievable at this stage for the mister. The question is going to be whether he goes for them. And indeed he will. The monastery has been thrown down. He will be rallying them out. We see he's going to be looking to pick up the first relic, looking to bring it back. It's got the rally point back here. And now towards that top side. He's got a second relic he can look to pick up. And of course, the last but not least relic is going to be that one towards the bottom side. It's the safest one, so it's the one that we can kind of just leave. Wall's now going to start to come up along this bottom side. We can actually see both players looking to wall on the west, towards that west corner right now. So very, very well timed from both of these guys, realizing, you know what, we got to kind of stall out a little bit over on this western flank. And it's quite interesting to see players focusing so heavily on the north side, because normally where we see them focus is actually the side with the gold spawns. It's not always that case, as we've got with this game. It's not the way this game. But the players are largely anchored towards this north side, where we see large stone, small stone, second small stone, third small stone. So you've got 3 small stones, 2 big stones, and they're very much towards that north side. Whereas the gold, which is the key resource here, we've got large gold, small gold, so that we've got another small and another large. So that's 2 right there, 2 large and 2 small golds on that south side, which to me makes a lot more sense to be angled towards. So we'll have to see exactly what the plan is, and it looks like he will go after that closer relic first before moving out towards that northern relic, but there is the risk that he loses it because of that, and it looks like he may indeed be losing it. So the mister with I don't know if I'd necessarily call it a mistake, but I guess it's a decision that at the end of the day had a consequence, didn't it? And that consequence is that he lost the relic. So it's going to be 2 relics up against 3. Mister obviously up against an opponent with a gold trickle in the Imperial Age. He's going to be in good company, considering he has also got, it's not a gold trickle necessarily, or per se, it's an olive oil trickle. But remember that you can trade that olive oil in the late game for units that cost gold. So naturally, it does become a little bit of a gold trickle. And Mangonel shot comes in, a little bit of a weird shot there from the Mango. 5 Vils do jump inside the spear, jump inside the outpost to defend against the spears. Now those spears going to be under pressure here. Plenty of health left on these cavalry units. They're going to be A-okay in this situation. And now House is going to get thrown up in a jiffy. You can actually see he's 190 out of 200. But he'll throw out an extra one just in case. Just in case he loses one. Archers, together with the crossbow numbers, have risen significantly here. Army's relatively even. One thing to note is the army value difference between these 2 players, though. Louis, MT, about 2 to 3, 3 to 2 ratio right now. His 2 to his opponent's 3 on that village account. And over here, have a look at this. We got ourselves a little bit of a wall off going on. Over on this west corner, walls have managed to go up for both players, and you can see he's particularly walled off the gold and done a pretty decent job of it. But overall, I think Louis got the proximity to it, so naturally, he'll have a pretty good position there. Cataphracts and Keshiks, slowly but steadily building up, and he's going to just throw down the Wallalol in the base, doing the beastie right there. The classic. It's just to throw off the opponent. You just do that, and they just check. They're looking for the Wallalol, and you might be able to distract them for a second. They forget what they were doing. You know, they forget to click an upgrade, and now all of a sudden, you know, we're 27 minutes through, and they haven't got their +2 ranged armor yet, and you're like, ah, you know, it's those small little things. You want to try and use every advantage that you can, and you might as well try and distract them while you can. Also, it's a nice way to show off. Say, hey, guess who got the 3rd relic? Yeah, this guy. This guy right here. Wall coming up on the south side once again. Now for the mister, it's going to be a nice long wall. He's got that onion beginning to build here, roasting that onion, getting it cooking. We do let him cook. And of course, now speaking of cooking, it looks like the mister is going to be attending the dinner The question's going to be about whether he was invited or not. Look at the number of units that he's got out here. The men-at-arms, they don't stand a chance. There's too many crossbows here. The Cataphracts, will they charge? They do through. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. They get on top of all of the range units at the back. Men-at-arms going to try and deal with them, but there's no spearmen here. Rather, barely any spearmen here. A couple of them. It looks like they've got their veterancy that's not... No, it has come through, but the numbers for his opponent right now looking incredible. The Mister looks like he might be steamrolling over the top of Louis MT in this third game. The spearmen continue to rally out. They've got a little bit of a weird rally position, and with this, he will nullify that stone in this north side. Keep in mind, the outpost stands strong towards this top side and will mean that attack speed bonus will slowly but steadily become an advantage for this English player. But the cavalry has now been knocked out. We hear mangonels. It's going to be mangonel. No, it's mangonels themselves. It's not the emplacements. It's the real deal here. Spears chasing away Keshiks. Mangonel still firing on that top side. Archers together with the crossbows, just looking to try and take out those English units. And remember that he is fighting into the reinforcement, so naturally it's going to get harder and harder as he will face more resistance the closer he gets to that English base, because he's got less reinforcements working for him. But overall, a really good trade there for the Mister up against Louis MT. Very lovely fight. The Cataphract proving its power in that fight, proving its value. I gotta say, that was a nice little fight right there. The Cataphracts, chef's kiss. That was beauty. That was absolute beauty. All right, well, let's check in with the Mister. He's going for acid distillation here, looking to pick up a second level on that eco upgrade. Now able to put pressure on once again towards this top side. There's going to be a distinct lack of units here, though. There's plenty behind it. Obviously got the production coming out here. Sacred sites not yet in play on this map. And the wall going to get thrown up behind this. You can see all the villagers being rallied out towards it. And now looking to kite away. He's going to be up against those longbows once again. Very strong from the pocket. Difficult to deal with. And now those spearmen also coming out. Crossbows. You hear them firing off. Beautiful little sound they make when they do manage to hit their target. And now those Cataphracts charging into no man's land. Not going to be successful today, unfortunately. And Spears over on that west side doing a wonderful job. Very annoying to deal with here. And there it is. The foreign engineering company thrown down over on that east side of the map. Really, I find this an awkward little spot here. Let's see it. It does look like he is connected to the system network, so he'll have that going for him. But obviously the fighting has been on this top side, but I can't help but feel like throwing a stone wall down here and then just immediately pivoting to the bottom side is the right call. Villagers now going to be getting their work in, getting their work cut out for him over here. Still slow but steady. Looks like he does have textiles through, and that extra armor is going to help him out plenty. And he is going to be absolutely fine as the mangonel emplacements manage to cover here. Still that 18 villager difference, but now it is going to drop down with those couple of villager kills there to a 16, 17 villager difference now in this game. So slowly and steadily, Louis is catching up on the economy. Not so much the number, but rather the percent. Oh my god. Oh my lord. Oh lord, he coming. You know, we've heard the song Castle on the Hill, right? But have you heard the song Mango Emplacement in the Tower on the Hill? I haven't heard that song either, but it's undoubtedly a very good song as the Mango Emplacement fires down the hill. And immediately Louis MT evacuates the dance floor. He is infected by the sound. Big damage coming out, and the mango shot just going to hit the lumber camp, unfortunately for him. Now towards that south side of the map. We've talked about it before, the importance, the significance. The Berkshire Palace will be coming in to protect those golds. Definitely a good call from Louis to go down towards that position. Obviously, still wants to fight over this top side. Stonewall's beginning to come up for both of these players. We don't see a whole bunch coming out for the Mister, actually, at this stage. In fact, we don't see any coming out just yet. And now, oh, Mister's got to be careful. Mister's got to be really careful. That's 13 Cataphracts. These are really expensive. That's like 27 knights right there. And now looking to push in once again. I don't like the numbers here for the Mister. There's a lot of infantry he's going to have to deal with here. Gulam's also going to be coming out. Cataphracts might be looking for a charge. Oh, they got their elite upgrade coming through. The Mister now with the elite Cataphracts coming in onto the backside. Big charge on top of all the longbows. They're going to take extra damage if he's got that trample upgrade for him. And now able to clean up all the longbows. The crossbows back here as well. Archers dishing out the damage. Still more Keshiks coming in as well. He's managed to stop that wall from going up, and it looks like a very solid performance there. The Cataphract numbers continue to fall as the crossbows just slowly but steadily eke them out one by one. He's managed to take out the majority of the army, but the crossbows get away. And remember, that's what really matters, because they're going to be the damage dealers here. Another keep going to be coming down. It looks like this keep is going to have a blue health bar. That means it's going to be from Louis MT. He wants a little bit more defense, and he's done a wonderful job in keeping those cataphracts, those elite cataphracts at bay for the moment. More pressure now being put on, and once again, Louis looks like he wants to close this wall up. Villagers are coming out. First one's made a connection with the wall. Second one's out here as well. He's looking to plug this hole. He doesn't want any more units through here. He's trying his best now, but look at all of the crossbows. They're going to get absolutely eaten alive by the cataphracts. The horsemen are out here as well, looking to deal some damage, and I think he's got elite upgrades for them as well. Looking to try and get on top of those units once again. Do we see hand cannoneers coming out right now? I swear I saw the hand cannoneer animation fire off. I might be a little bit... Oh, Lord, he coming. Oh, Lord, he coming. The nest of bees are out, ladies and gentlemen. There it is, the hand cannoneer. I wasn't wrong. The hand cannoneers have arrived onto the field. Cataphracts just slowly but steadily able to tank up these units on the front line. The keep is going to be trying to hold it down. We see something's coming through. I suspect it's probably a springald emplacement, maybe some boiling oil. Could be a cannon emplacement. We do know he has Imperial, or at least he should have Imperial by now. I don't see any elite upgrades just yet, but we'll check in with him now. In fact, now's probably a good time. Let's quickly check in with Mr. Louis MT and see how he's doing. Imperial Age did indeed come through. That Berkshire working its magic. Elite upgrades. And what do we have in the way of elite upgrades? Men-at-arms, not yet upgraded. Spearmen, not yet upgraded. Longbow's not upgraded. Crossbow's not upgraded. Nothing upgraded just yet. He is trying to survive. Oh, my Lord, look at the military difference. Is this over? Is this over at this point? Is Mr. looking to bring it back in? Keep in mind, those nest of bees are getting chased away. More men-at-arms coming out, a couple of units, stopping the wall from getting completed. Ghulam's going to be joining forces as well. And more archers now heading towards that front line. Ghulam say, you know what? Let's just siege it down. Let's just burn down the gate. We don't need to worry about that. Upgrade still yet to come through. And now the Mister working on a second angle. Mister, you dirty devil. Look at him right now as he goes through the hole in the wall. Comes in behind. Keep in mind, he does have that extra bonus damage against the villagers, which is going to give him that plus 20, baby. Feels like you're playing Nasus, except you're not in the top lane. You're in the bottom lane, working a different angle. Behind the scenes, we see that the horsemen are unable to head down towards this Berkshire. It's way too strong. It's way too powerful. You got to be really careful, but he's rallied out into all corners of the map right now. Still elite upgrades yet to come through for Louis MT. How is he holding this? How is he surviving? How is he still fighting against this Imperial Age army? Absolute incredible performance coming out from him today. And we'll check in with the Mister once again as he presents his strongest Byzantine. This is by far the strongest Byzantine we've ever seen, with the exception of maybe 3DB. 3DB was a pretty dominating performance, the one that we saw him up against Vortex. But this one's looking pretty good for the late game. I'm going to be honest. The control that he is exerting over this game is impressive. Looks like, once again, we're going to be popping our our Triumph here. But unfortunately, there's enough spears here to deal with this. Keep in mind, he's got the reinforcements as well. So we'll lose out a fair amount of tickets on that one. Unfortunate for him to be blowing it right there, where he could have been, you know, saving it for the Cataphracts in a big fight. That's if he wants to go for... Oh, my Lord. That's if he wants to go to Cataphracts. He's got 45 horsemen on the field right now. That's a lot of horsemen. 45 horsemen. Wow. University coming up on the front line. Cannon firing off towards the units at the top. Springalds coming out. Roller Shard triggers. Not yet through. Not in queue. Tithe-Barn's on the way as well for Louis. Now, how does he go about finishing this? I think the key here is going to be the Royal Cannon. We can see that he's got one in queue. You get the Royal Cannon out here, you're going to be able to take out this keep. With this keep down, you'll be able to get those horsemen in nice and close. Have a look at this. We've got more horsemen down here. It looks like he's still cleaning up villagers' work account. Pretty even Stevens at this stage of the game. 123 versus 115. Not too bad at all, but still plenty of units out here for the Mister on the south side. So much pressure put on his opponent this game. Louis is somehow managing to hold, and we're going to ride on board with him now as we look to watch the defense. You can see he's trying to get that onion up. He's trying to keep himself unpeeled, but Mister is doing a wonderful job right now. He's looking like an Australian Prime Minister the way he is disemboweling this onion defense. That is a Tony Abbott reference. I don't know if you guys will get that, but Australian... Just Google Tony Abbott onion, and you will be impressed. Anyone who... You will be so impressed. You'll be like, that's the quality of politicians Australians have got? Yeah. That's what we've got. You know, you guys have got walls. We've got onions. And that's what really matters. At the end of the day, is this a wall or is this an onion? It's an onion. It's an onion. I see it. Anyway, we move on. We move forward. Oh, jeez. This one's taken it out of me. This is an incredible game that we've got coming out from both of these players. Once again, we're going to have that Triumph ability popped. And now those horsemen just looking to try and take down the keep before the boiling oil comes out, but it's going to be out there hitting the men-at-arms surrounding, still yet to get their elite upgrades through. In fact, no elite upgrades at this stage of the game. Not even the spears have got them. He's got veterancy. That's it. Horsemen now still yet to find their way through the enemy defenses on this north side. The stone wall is keeping them alive over from this top angle position. On the south side, he could look to try and break through the palisades, but he hasn't run past just yet. Plenty of Springlords out now. He's got 2 with a 3rd one in the queue, and we do finally have elite upgrades coming in for Louis MT. I tell you what, it's been a while, but he's managed to do it. He's managed to finally get to elite upgrades. And now on this south side, slowly but steadily, the villagers gather the gold. At this stage of the game, it becomes imperative that the Mister looks to trade. And one of the things that we start to see are the addition of traders. Traders have arrived for us. The Mister yet to actually get these traders marching across the map. And why exactly is that? We've got a couple that are out here. There you go. 59 with 12 olive oil. Not too bad right there. So he's got 5 traders, a couple of idols. That's okay. What's important is that he has got them down. And you can see him working from the back here, looking to try and get space to throw down a market. He wants to get it right in the corner here. That way he's going to guarantee the highest potential income. And now towards that front side, have a look what we've got here. Once again, Horseman trying to find a way through. He's going to be running into... Oh, he can actually siege down this stone wall right here. I don't know if... yeah, okay, he realizes. Louis realizes. He knows... Oh my god, that's a weak point right there. And once again, coming underneath the Berkshire, he's going to try and take out the villagers from behind. Keep in mind, he's going to get gold every villager he kills. He's swimming in it right now. This is plenty of gold. He'll absolutely take this. Plenty of villagers killed once again. He's taken out 50 so far this game. Boiling oil comes out. Plenty more villagers down towards this position. We'll be able to find them as well if he moves up. Not going to be looking for it for the moment. Throws a couple of torches onto the wall, and these villagers running routes in circles at the moment, trying to escape, trying to evade. Unable to find it, though. Will go down. He's only left with 3 villagers that make it back towards that Berkshire. And now the Berkshire going to be getting the cannon emplacement in. Probably the right decision here. I mean, it's firing pretty fast and pretty hard, but up against these horsemen with their biology upgrade, with their +3 ranged armor, it makes it pretty tough to make a dent quickly. Elite army tactics on the way through for the Mister. Maybe thinking about Varangian, indeed is thinking about Varangian Guard. Oh my lord. It's happening. It's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, watch out. Watch out. Has he picked up the unique upgrade? Let's take a look and see. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at the farmland. Indeed, he's got the unique upgrade, so they're going to get extra movement speed when they berserk. Have a look at the farmland right here coming out for him. Level 5 cistern, by the way. It is absolutely breathtaking. How many olive groves does he have? 59 olive groves. And behind this, we now start to see those Varangian guards making mogul moves. Now, one of the things to note is we still don't have this Berkshire down, which is kind of wild when you think about it. Very easily, I feel like he could have been present up here. Just a single Royal Cannon. Actually, Royal Cannon wouldn't have done it. Is up against a Berkshire. He needs a Treb. That's the only way to get it down. There's no other way to do it. And even then, you got villagers nearby. You could try and bring horsemen under here, but you're going to invest a lot of resources. Now towards the top side, look at the number that Louis MT's got. He has absolutely eclipsed his opponent when it comes to the military side of things. And now, looking to throw a stonewall gate down, it will enable him to look towards that opposite side of the map and potentially eliminate his opponent. Precision crossbreeding now coming through for the Mister. His economy is massive. 3,000, 4.6, 5k, 5.6k currently compared to 2,700, 3,400, 4,400, 5,100, 5,200. Pretty even Steven's economy, honestly. This is pretty close. Varangian Guard on the south side cannot do anything. The stone wall completely blocks them out. This is not a fight he wants to take right now. He needs to get these units on the other side of the map. This is the importance of these stone walls, because right now he is wasting away. You can see he's bringing the Royal Cannon up here, and he wants to try and take out this position on the south side. But if he does that, he will lose everything towards the north. He needs these units over here now. He's only got 69, which is nice amount of military. But when you've got this many units, look at the... Oh, this is a big mistake from the Mister. This is a little bit of a mistake. This is a significant mistake. I mean, when it comes to this map, you've just got to pick a side and commit to it. You know, you really want to try and stall out on one side as much as you can. Maybe look to push with rams. Maybe get a couple of units over there. But when you've got that many units, look how many he's got. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. It's too many. It's like 30 plus units. It's like half of his army, and now pushing in towards the most important part of his base, the trade. Oh, the trade. The horsemen come through. The boiling oil on the ground. He's looking to try and find a way up towards that top side running around. The siege is here. Will he be able to find an angle? Keep in mind, he's got plenty of production. Keshik's arriving on the scene as well. Able to get a decent surround, but the keep at the top now going to be under pressure here as the elephants look to try and turn towards their opponents. More and more horsemen make their way up there. He's trying to take out the siege. He knows if he can take out those battering rams, it will stall out the majority of this push. Cannon is online. Men-at-arms will be able to take it out. Mangonel emplacement also looking to try and dish some dirt on his opponent. More Mangonel emplacements coming online as well. And now towards this top side, the keep will go down. He's got more keeps up here. They're kind of half keep, half church looking at them. But now finally those Varangian guards are here. Oh my lord, you guys couldn't come fast enough. Get your berserking out. Drop your shields. Get out your axes, guys. It is time to fight. Can we see the Varangian guards converting here in this game? That's going to be the big question for me. Let's have a look at behind the scenes as men-at-arms make their way towards that economy, that heartland of olive groves. More Varangian guards coming in. The elite men-at-arms with their armor cladding up against the Varangian guards. Which one will come out on top? We now find out as they do indeed finally pop their extra damage. Going to be able to get through those men-at-arms and look at them surrounding, absolutely engulfing the front of those units. Towards the back, it does look like the horsemen have managed to pick this up. A couple more men-at-arms slowly sieging things down. He's looking at every corner, anything that can be found. Over towards that west side, the gold's almost run. Couple of cataphracts. They got inside somehow. Must have been the royal cannon, I suspect, and now manages to push back once again on this front, doing an incredible job here, but at the same time, a little bit of an oversight, allowing that to happen in that situation. It feels like Mr. should have absolutely destroyed him there, but didn't really have the units in the correct place. Let's check in with the Mr. and see how he's doing. Whether he maintains position over on this west side of the map is a little bit of a fail, if I'm honest, in allowing his opponent to have this gold. I mean, realistically, a single outpost, a sprinkled emplacement, or a mango emplacement, or a cannon emplacement, shut this down completely. You might have to wall it in. You might have to put a stone wall in. In fact, you could put a stone wall in with the stone towers. You know, the ones that are banned? In fact, they're not actually banned. They used to be banned. They're not banned anymore, apparently. Apparently, they increased the cost of them. And so now they're balanced, apparently. Maybe we can take that to the rank ladder. That'd be fun. Outpost, attempting. Plenty of men-at-arms here. Have a look at the hand cannoneers behind this, though. 74 men-at-arms! Oh, my lord! We're getting serious right now. Up against the 45 Varangian guards. It's just going to be horseman, Varangian guard, the combo he's looking for. Now to the backside. The horsemen trying to make a connection with those hand cannoneers. They've got a really decent defense lining up here for them. It's those men-at-arms with the extra armor that just make all the difference. And now the villagers trying to get up an outpost. The remaining villagers that he's got are pretty much here. He's only got about 80 villagers left on the map. Mango emplacement still firing off, and he brings up another set of reinforcements. But look at the number of units that are out here right now for Louis MT. The men-at-arms are steamrolling down the Byzantine player. And just when we thought we had ourselves a game, just when we thought that the Mister was the one on top, it turns out that Louis was hiding all along with his men-at-arms. A little bit of damage comes through. The Ayyubids teeing off from the back. It's not going to matter. The keep goes down. And with the keep going down, that's going to leave open a gaping hole in the defenses of the Mister. The battering ram continues moving on, but the man-at-arms stands strong. The micro is solid. He's able to kite away. More reinforcements come through, but it feels like it might not be his day. The second Ayyubids is here as well. Unfortunately, it's just going to get evaporated. We'll take it just like milk, and game gets called. That's going to be it. Louis MT victorious in this third game. There won't be a game 4. There will not be a game 5. He will take this game, and he will move on. Ladies and gentlemen, go check him out. EGC TV this weekend, 15 GMT, Saturday and Sunday. What a game. Wow, I am speechless at how good that was.